let's go. Couple more. Go right away, transition, no hesitation. High as you can, get up.
Good evening and welcome inside the Antelope Gymnasium on the campus of Grand Canyon University in the heart of Phoenix for tonight's game between the number 9 ranked Loyola Chicago Ramblers and the Grand Canyon University Lopes. I'm Kyle Borg alongside Jack O'Hara. And Jack, last night was a thriller between these two teams. It saw the Lopes come out with a 3-2 victory in 5 sets.
Yeah, you can't say enough about last night's win. The Lopes coming into last night, losing 8 of their last 10, a huge upset against the number 9th ranked team in Loyola Chicago. You can't say enough about the guys who stepped up in David Kieshel's absence. You had Trevor Weary with 5 kills in the first set alone. Will Schwob with a dominant set number 5 with 4 rejections alone in that set. And of course, Ian McLean with a record high, his career high, 10 kills last night.
That's right, role players stepped up in a huge way last night. And now let's see how the Lopes can repeat that performance here tonight against this same Ramblers squad as we take a look at the Sanderson Ford. 3 keys to the game. And
of course, I just mentioned it, off the bench, we saw Ian McLean and Trevor Weary both step up in David Kieshel's absence last night. Ian McLean, a career high 10 kills. Trevor Weary, like I mentioned before, 5 kills in the first set alone last night. Look for more offense to come in the form of these two, even with David Kieshel potentially back in the fold here tonight. Number 2, continue the momentum. The Lopes, before last night, had lost 8 of their last 10. With their huge upset win last night, the Lopes have a chance to ride their momentum and pick up not 1, but 2 wins against the number 9 ranked team in the nation. And number 3, of course, David Kieshel, a healthy David Kieshel potentially tonight, not starting, but he is here with Christian Janke alongside. The emergence of both Weary and McLean may give the Lopes an early advantage in this game.
Well, round 1 between these two heavyweight teams was very entertaining and very exciting all night long. Round 2 is going to be more of the same as we have starting lineups going on right now. So first, for the Loyola Chicago Ramblers, their starting lineup will be number 3, Kyle Pekarski, number 4, Dane LeClaire, number 5, Colin Mahan, 13 will be Garrett Zolg, number 16, Will Tischler, number 23, Paul Narup, and the libero, number 11, Avery Aylesworth. And for the Lopes, it's the same as last night as well. Number 4, Trevor Weary. Number 9, Oner Sakur. Number 10, Ian McLean. 11, the outstanding freshman, Christian Janke. Number 20, Will Schwob. Number 24, Alex Shmelev. And number 13, your libero, Cole Udall. And they will huddle in the center of the court as we get ready to go here in set number 1 here in Phoenix tonight. The Lopes come into this one after that win last night at 8-11 on the year and 0-6 in conference play, while the Loyola Chicago Ramblers come into this one 13-5 and 6-1 in their respective conference. This is a non-conference battle tonight, and we will see who will be able to come out on top in round 2.
And we saw last night Colin Mahan and both Will Tischler as well leading the charge for the Ramblers. Tischler led the pack in kills. Look for Will Tischler to come out in a big way tonight alongside Colin Mahan. We saw Garrett Zoll get involved last night as well. They are the number 9th ranked team in the nation for a reason, Kyle.
Yeah, that's right, but you know, they dropped one last night, so when the new poll comes out, they will not be number 9, and hopefully the Lopes can pick up a 2-match streak going into next week's conference play, as they will return to conference play for a couple matches next weekend here at Antelope Gymnasium as well, in the midst of a long homestand. And getting us started will be Oner Sakur, and we are underway in Phoenix. Right off the bat, a good dig from Schwob, and now a touch. That's big number 23, Paul Narup in the middle. And just like that, Loyola Chicago has a 1-0 lead. Garrett Zolg will be the server for Loyola Chicago. Here is Zolg, big lefty. Sakur will go outside. Janky off the top of the block, and the Lopes are on the board. Janky, one swing, one kill, and we're knotted up at 1.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised, Kyle. Right off the bat, Christian Janky making his presence felt in this one, and he's far from finished.
That is right. He started in this game the way he started last night's game, 1 for 1, and he will be your server here for the Lopes. And now Udall will pass to Sakur outside. Weary, not going to fall. Loyola Chicago keeps it up. And that is number 5, Colin Mahan, the senior for this Loyola Chicago team. Big outside hitter from Victor, New York, and Victor High School. And of course, Mahan picked up his 1,000th career kill last weekend, so he just keeps adding on to that total here tonight. His first kill, and the Loyola Chicago Ramblers have a 2-1 lead. Mahan the serve. Sakur for McLean, looking for a touch, will not get it. So it is now a 3-1 Loyola Chicago lead. Something
Loyola Chicago did not do last night, Kyle. Lopes jumped out to an early lead in each of the 5 sets, to be perfectly honest. First time Loyola Chicago jumping out to a lead in this one. Look for the Lopes to bounce back.
Volleyball is going to be a game of runs, and it is the long one as that serve is long by number 9. Or number 5, excuse me, Colin Mahan. So 3-2 as Ian McLean, who had a huge night last night, still in the starting lineup and is the server. Outside, good dig from Janky, an errant one. But good hustle from Sakur trying to get over to it. Loyola Chicago regains a 2-point advantage.
And we mentioned these big guys, Christian Janky, Trevor Weary, even Ian McLean last night with his career high 10 points. Don't sleep on Alex Shmelev. We preached it last night. When he gets going, the Lopes offense is just unstoppable.
And a big kill again for Loyola Chicago off the tip. And that will be a kill for Will Tischler. So Loyola Chicago a 3-point lead now, as this will be Paul Narup, who started us off in this game with a kill. He is the server, so Janky to Sakur for Shmelev. Didn't get a good connection with that one. And now that one will be blocked by Shmelev and Weary, but kept up. That one dug out Sakur. Udall for Schwob. He'll go with the touch, but not enough to get it over to the Rambler side of the net. And now 4 touch, and we will get a quick timeout from Coach Matt Worley and the Lopes. So a 6-2 Rambler advantage. You're watching men's volleyball right here on GCU TV.
Hi, I'm Brittany, and this is Ask GCU. Hi, I'm Brittany Holwyn, and you should watch Ask GCU,
where we answer your questions every week.
And the points don't matter. Wait, what?
Tune in every week for answers to be questioned.
Where we answer your questions in a common, all right.
I'm a professional manager.
Tweet hashtag AskGCU to get your question featured.
And we are back inside Antelope Gymnasium. Loyola Chicago has jumped out to an early 6-2 lead over the Lopes here on this beautiful Saturday night in Phoenix. It's a little chilly outside, but nice and warm inside as Antelope Gymnasium is starting to fill up. And the Lopes are going to look to get it loud and rocking as they did last night. So this is Narup the serve. Janky, Sakur, Shmelev, big kill. Alex Shmelev is on the board. He's got his first kill on just his second swing. And now the Lopes are down by 3.
And what did I say just before our break, Kyle? Cannot sleep on Alex Shmelev. Absolutely cannot.
Alex Shmelev might be the most underrated player on this Lopes team, as Weary the server, and that'll go off the top of the block, I believe off Shmelev or Schwab's head, and that time they set up Shmelev, but Shmelev gets it blocked, and now Loyola Chicago regains their 4-point advantage. So this is number 4, Dane LeClaire. And LeClaire's serve is dug out by Janke, up for Schwab. That'll get touched by number 4 off of LeClaire's hands. So Schwab gets his first kill, and now the Lopes will be down by just 3 once again as Schwab is ready to serve it away. Huge kill. That's Mahan again from the back row, and that's something that killed the Lopes last night. And it's starting to hurt him here early on in set number 1.
And we talked about a pregame. It was going to be Colin Mahan and Will Tischler at the top of the pack there for the Ramblers.
Shmelev blocked again, and the Lopes can't keep it up, and it is now 9-4 Ramblers. Getting ready to serve once again. It's Tischler will serve for his second time in a row after that last Ramblers point. Janke able to get it, but that one will go off of the referee stand and out of play. So it is now 10-4. So an errant pass from Janke will give the Ramblers a little 3-0 scoring run. Tischler ready to go once again with the serve. Sakur, way to get up and block that one. And now off the top of the block of Sakur and Shmelev and out of play, so the Ramblers gain another point. Or a net violation, excuse me, rather. So the Lopes get that point. They catch a break there. 10-5 is the score. And Alex Shmelev, the best server on this team, will serve it for the Lopes. Big serve, Alex Shmelev. Barely kept alive by the Ramblers, and now he'll get a dig, and Sakur will set Schwab on the outside. Will Schwab gets his second kill, and just like that, the Lopes have got some momentum back, and it's 6-10.
And we talked to Coach Worley before the game yesterday. Will Schwab wants to be that X factor here in David Kashiel's absence here these past 2 nights.
So Shmelev, a big serve again, can't find the line, and it's out of play for the first service error by the Lopes of the match. So Kyle Pekarski will serve for the Ramblers as McLean is back in for Shmelev. And they'll set McLean, and he gets a big swing to it. And now from the back row, it'll be popped up and back over, and the Ramblers send it right back over with a free ball, so the Lopes got to take advantage. That's for Janke, right into the net. He couldn't quite take advantage of that free ball, and it is now a 6-point Loyola Chicago lead.
So it was absolutely something we didn't see last night, Kyle. Loyola Chicago really starting to separate themselves from the Lopes early on in this first set.
So Schwab will get it to Sakur. He'll go way outside. Janke missing the line, and now it is a 7-point Rambler advantage, and Coach Worley unhappy. He'll use his second timeout here in set number 1. 13-6 here in Phoenix, and we will take a break with them. You're watching men's volleyball on GCU TV.
Be the desert, to where the mountains touch the sky. This is Sanderson Ford country, where Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford country, built on serving you. Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford.
I came to college to play my sport, but more importantly, to earn a degree.
I'm constantly learning from those around me, my professors and peers, my coaches and teammates, and even my opponents.
There's nothing better than game day, battling side by side with my teammates.
The competition is what pushes me to be the best that I can be.
I take pride in my community and want to ensure that I am giving back and inspiring the next generation to do the same.
And we are back getting ready to restart play after Coach Worley calls his second time out of set number 1. It is a 13-6 Loyola Chicago lead as Kyle Pekarski is set to get us underway with the serve. And that one's going to go off a weary as him and Schwob have some miscommunication, and it's 14-6.
Well, now what you want to see fresh off that timeout from Coach Worley. The Lopes just not really clicking at the moment here in the first set. Everything clicking on all cylinders for Loyola Chicago.
Up top, Janke that time blocked straight down by Narup and Zolg. And it is 15-6, and Loyola Chicago is rolling early. That one into the net. Schwob has a miss hit, and it is a 10-point advantage for the Ramblers at 16-6. Janke up top, it is blocked again. Sakur for Janke one more time. And good hustle from number 13, Garrett Zolg. Almost colliding with our table, trying to save it, but can't get it. And now Christian Janke gets his second kill of the game, rather. And now Sakur will serve once again. It is 16-7, Loyola Chicago. Floater serve from Sakur. And blocked straight off the hands and into the middle of the Lope side of the court by number 4, Dane LeClaire. And it is another 10-point advantage. So this is 13, Garrett Zolg to serve, and it's out of play. And just like that, the Lopes get that back.
And we haven't quite seen that fire that we saw here last night. The Lopes jumping out to those quick advantages. We saw 3 straight sets last night. Lopes jumping out to at least a 4-0 lead. Currently down by 9. We'll see if they can get a rally going here.
So Janke a big serve. And now they'll go get that kill from the back row again. And they're going to say it found that line on the near side. And Tischler gets another kill. So the 10-point advantage is back in favor of Loyola Chicago. So Mahan to serve right at Schwob off the ceiling. It'll stay on the Lope side. Blocked and not able to get there is Schwob. And it is 19-8 now for the Ramblers.
And we saw the Lopes outplay Loyola Chicago here last night. Loyola Chicago had a 2-1 lead heading into set number 4. Lopes end up coming back with the win, 3-2. Ramblers not holding an inch so far here in set number 1 tonight.
So Mahan serves again, and that one finds the line. Service ace Colin Mahan. And now Loyola Chicago 5 points away from taking set number 1. And back to your point, I don't think Loyola Chicago was going to come out tonight here in set number 1 after losing a heartbreaker for them in 5 sets last night So the Lopes had to know they weren't going to come out and roll over. And they're flexing their muscle early on. Mahan again, right at Udall. Sakur for Weary, missing the line, 21-8, Loyola Chicago. Mahan still the server. He's got 2 kills on 4 swings to go with an ace and a block. So right at Janke, Sakur. Big swing, Ian McLean. And he'll give the Lopes a little bit of life at 21-9. So a huge run needed for the Lopes to take set number 1 here.
Again, you saw Ian McLean with the career-high 10 kills last night, finally on the board tonight. We'll see if he can get going with that. And look for guys like Alex Shmelev to break out as well. We said if he gets going in this one, and he does, look out.
So Ryan Losh just served that one for the Lopes as that goes off of Sakur's face. So Ryan Losh getting some playing time. The 6'4" redshirt freshman from Firecrest, Washington. And now Losh will check right back out for Ian McLean. So Katsakis will be the server. Sakur will go for Schwob off the top of the block, kept alive by Mahan. And now that is a good job from owner Sakur to get it to Janke, who gets it to Schwob, who gets it over the net. And now off the top of the block, Janke keeps it up again. Sakur hustling over to it. And now Shmelev blocked, and now Schwob is stuffed at the net. As Loyola Chicago takes the 23-9 lead.
And we mentioned it before, Loyola Chicago just not giving an inch so far in this one, just stepping on the Lopes' throats here in set number 1. Loyola Chicago playing their best offense to date. Lopes just not clicking defensively and offensively thus far.
So Sakur keeps it up for Schwob, who just puts it easily over the net. And now Udall for Schwob again into the net and out of play as it rolls out of play off the top. So set point now at 24-9 for number 9 Loyola Chicago. And Kyler Katsakis will remain the server here, at least for the time being, if the Lopes can't get a side out. And they do, as Katsakis sends it right into the net. So Trevor Weary, number 4, he will be your server. Trevor Weary, the sophomore, stepping up into a big role this year. And that one will be dug out Udall. That one will be set for Weary. Back line. Finds it. Trevor Weary finds that back corner, gets a kill. 24-11 Loyola Chicago.
And like we mentioned before, you get Trevor Weary and Ian McLean going like you did last night. The Lopes could potentially be on the verge of another successful night here if they can get those two going.
Up top off of Udall's foot, out of play. So set number 1 goes to Loyola Chicago, so a little bit different than last night where the Lopes won set number 1. But 25-11 Loyola Chicago, but the Lopes shouldn't be too down on themselves, really. They know they can play with these guys. They know they can beat them. They just have to find a way to bounce back here in set number 2.
And we mentioned it last night. With Loyola Chicago being up 2-1 and losing in heartbreak fashion, 3-2 in set number 5, you knew that they were going to come out tonight hungry. And boy, were they starving in set number 1, coming out with a 25-11 victory. This wasn't just a case where Loyola Chicago was on their A game, and they were, offensively and defensively. The Lopes were not clicking whatsoever defensively and offensively. We'll see if things change in set number 2. And like we said, guys like Trevor Weary, Ian McLean, even Will Schwob, get them going, as well as Alex Shmelev. You know Janky's going to be there. Just get those guys going, and they could potentially tie this thing up in set number 2.
And you know what? If you're Loyola Chicago, you can't sleep right now. You can't fall asleep on the Lopes because you beat them by 14, and you don't want to be over there in the huddle thinking, oh, this is going to be, we're going to walk right through them for the next 2 sets, and we're going to go home early, go to the hotel, get some sleep, get on the plane tomorrow. But the Lopes will punch her right back in the mouth, really, because this is a heavyweight fight. Just round 1 goes Loyola Chicago's way, so the Lopes got to get set for round 2. You know, take your punches and try and deliver a couple big blows.
There's still a lot of volleyball left to be played, Kyle. Well, it's time for the upcoming schedule, brought to you by BSN Sports, the largest provider of team sports equipment and apparel in the country. Baseball takes on Illinois tomorrow at noon and will play a 3-game series against Xavier next week, while softball will play an exciting doubleheader against Lehigh on March 13th. Catch those games here on GCU TV.
And I will be on that Lehigh doubleheader for softball on Wednesday alongside Darby Katafmo for that one. And, of course, the baseball in the midst of their 12-game homestand. They played game number 2 today against Illinois. Dropped the first one last night, and I believe they dropped today's game as well. You were on that call.
Yeah, 5-2 loss. Again, last night did not pick up their first hit last night until the bottom of the 8th inning. Tyler Wyatt picked up a single. It wasn't until the bottom of the 4th inning tonight, Tyler Wyatt picking up an RBI double for the Lopes' first hit. And Tyler Wyatt, the only 2 hits on the afternoon for the Lopes in a 5-2 loss against Illinois.
So Tyler Wyatt having a nice series over there. The rest of the team struggling. And, of course, also today was women's basketball against Seattle University at home. It was the seniors' last game, and unfortunately, Lopes lose that one by 18. And then the men were on the road at Seattle in their regular season finale, and the men dropped that one in overtime to Seattle. So a hard day all around the campus for Lopes sports. Let's see if volleyball can get it done for the second night in a row. We're hopeful here in set number 2. I think the Lopes got to get on a little bit of the run to get these Havocs going to our left and to our right, because as when this building is loud, the Lopes are strong. And we got a couple substitutions to start set number 2. It'll be Tanner Petchel. He'll be your setter, along with David Kieshel, who did not play last night. He was out with an illness. So Udall's going to come in for Shmelev early just to start, as McLean will be your big middle in the front with Kieshel as well. Schwob, Janky, and Udall make up your back row. And then the Ramblers will begin the second set with Kyle Pekarski to serve. They also have Dane LeClaire, Will Tischler out there as well.
And we talked about it pregame, Kyle. A healthy David Kieshel could be the X factor for the Lopes here tonight.
And Ian McLean will start us off right here in set number 1. Big kill, Ian McLean. He's got his second on the match. And now Tanner Petchel will be your server. So you get your middles going. You can really work from the middle out.
And Ian McLean not holding back there. Again, with a healthy David Kieshel alongside the new emergences of Ian McLean and Trevor Weary. Watch out.
And just like that, Lopes got a 2-0 lead as LeClaire sends it into the net. And Petchel will get ready to serve, up 2-0 in set number 2. Petchel serve. It's a good one. That one gets touched. Petchel will have to send it right back over. And now a quick touch from the setter, Garrett Zolg, and he will get himself a rare kill. So he's got 1 to go with his 7 assists, and it's 2-1 Lopes. So you always got to be careful of that with setters on both sides. They can be tricky. Garrett Zolg was right there, and he will be the server. Right to Janky, Petchel. McLean again off the dig attempt of number 16, Will Tischler. So McLean's got 2 kills on 2 swings in this set. And the Lopes regain a 2-point lead with Christian Jenke going back to serve.
And this is more of what we saw last night, the Lopes jumping out quickly in front. It was more of Loyola Chicago coming back at the very end in sets number 2 and 3. So look for the Lopes to show what they showed last night after a rough first set here. And look for Christian Jenke to break out in a big way too. Haven't seen much from him yet.
Good dig from Jenke. Petchel outside. Schwob off the block. Udall will give it back to Petchel. And now he'll set Kiesel. David Kiesel gets his first kill. And now the Lopes have a 3-point lead. So welcome back, David Kiesel.
Yeah, you think the Lopes missed David Kiesel in that lineup? I think so. Without a doubt, benefiting right away from having both McLean and Kiesel in that lineup right now.
So now Schwob will send it right back off the errant pass. And the Lopes have a 5-1 lead. And now the Lopes looking like the Ramblers in set number 1, which is a positive sign. And now we'll get a quick timeout from the Ramblers. And it is 5-1 lead here in set number 2. The Ramblers lead it 1-0, but the Lopes are up early. You're watching men's volleyball right here on GCU TV. So we're going to stay right here off a little bit of technical difficulties. So it's 5-1 Lopes, about 40 seconds remaining in this timeout. So the Lopes coming out firing early on here in set number 2.
Yeah, and like I said before, this is what we saw more of last night from the Lopes jumping out in front early. We just saw Will Schwob there taking advantage. He saw an opening on the court, took full advantage of it, picking up his 3rd kill. Ian McLean on fire to start set number 2, holding no prisoners so far. And of course, David Kiesel making an impact right away with that early kill.
And we talked about it at the end of set number 1. Loyola Chicago can't fall asleep because the Lopes aren't going to go away. And you can ask some of the best teams in the country about that. You can ask Pepperdine. Lopes took them to 5. It took all of UCLA against the Lopes in 4 sets. The Lopes gave them all they could handle, as the Lopes have been very good against ranked opponents all year long.
And the same could be said for the Lopes. Do not fall asleep on these Ramblers. You're up by 4 at the moment. That lead can disappear, and it can disappear quick.
And a huge service ace that time for Christian Jenke. So it is a 5-point, 6-1 Lopes advantage. Jenke to serve once again. And that one will be hit underneath of the net. So 6-2, Grand Canyon. You don't see that very often.
Christian Jenke just did not get all of that one, resulting in him hitting it under the net there. Look for him to bounce back, though. Still up by 4 in this one. Still plenty of time to make up for it.
So right at Udall, Petchel, Kiesel again. It'll be kept up. That one off the top of Kiesel and McLean's hands as Petchel will go outside. Schwob, yes! Will Schwob able to find some space in the middle of that Rambler defense as Alex Shmalev comes in as the libero Cole Udall will check out. So 7-2 now as Ian McLean heads back to be the server.
Well, similar play to what we saw moments ago. Will Schwob just finding an opening there, taking full advantage of Loyola's defense.
So that one will go off of Shmalev and Schwob and out of play. It's 7-3 Loyola Chicago as number 23 Paul Narup heads back to serve it away. So kept up by Loyola Chicago. Good job there. Udall, Petchel up top. Kiesel again. Give David Kiesel a big kill for his 2nd of the match. And 8-3, Lopes lead as Keishel heads back to serve it now for the Lopes. Big block! Alex Shmelev, Tanner Petchel, and the Lopes just clicking now.
Yeah, you knew there was a lot of volleyball left to be played after that rough first set from the Lopes. You knew they were going to bounce back in a big way. We're seeing it right here.
So Keishel serves it again, and now it is set outside off of Keishel and way out of play. Heads up to our cameraman back there, almost taking him out. So it is now 9-4. So this will be number 4, Dane Leclerc, getting ready to serve. Up top, Shmelev. Yes, Alex Shmelev, 10-4 Lopes. And hey, on that last one, if it was 3D, that one's going right into your living room up there at our camera.
Oh, absolutely, right into your living room, like you just said.
Heads up. All right, as Will Schwob gets ready to serve at 10-4. Big block, Christian Jenke, Alex Shmelev reject it, and it's 11-4. And now this has just become a whole new ball game as we have traded big blows here through the first 2 sets.
Yeah, they seem like a completely different team than in the first set, but still early on in this set, still plenty of time for the Ramblers to make their presence felt here in set number 2.
That one off the hands of Shmelev once again. Udall will bump it outside. Jenke, yes! Not gonna quite fall, thought it was gonna slip through. So Petchel up top for Schwob, he'll go with the touch. It'll be kept alive, great job from Loyola Chicago. Off the top of the hands and kept over by Tanner Petchel. And now Loyola Chicago will get a kill, that's Will Tischler. So a good rally, I thought Christian Jenke was gonna end it earlier, but able to keep it up on the triple block was Loyola Chicago and ultimately able to get that point as Will Tischler will be your server. Lopes up by 6. Outside for Jenke, he'll get touched and it'll be blocked right down. And now Loyola Chicago's got themselves a little bit of life and a little bit of a run. So Tischler will get set to serve again.
And like I said, still early on in this set. Do not count out the Ramblers, considering what they did in set number 1.
So Tischler the serve. Right at Udall. Petchel. Shmelev. Yes, that one will find its way out of play. And Alex Shmelev has another kill. Give him 4. To go along with 2 blocks. So Alex Shmelev working his way to the top of the leaderboard, as that was his 3rd kill. It's not his 4th. So Shmelev, your server. That one right to Shmelev off the block. Petchel gets up, tries to block it back, but Schwob will now set Jenke. And now Jenke will get one, as that one will go Keishel, as that one looked to be traveling out of play but kept alive. So now Jenke will send it over, and now Loyola Chicago has to get it. Good hustle, Christian Jenke. That's Alex Shmelev, as Schwob can't quite dig it out. So Shmelev off of Jenke's good hustle. Jenke ran to the other side of the net, kept it alive, but Shmelev couldn't quite get it far enough over the top of that front line's hands for Loyola Chicago, and it's 12-7.
One of the more entertaining volleys you'll see between these 2 clubs. Great hustle from Christian Jenke, just unable to complete that play like you said.
So Keishel will just send it over. And now it is down and in play. Will Tischler, another kill. It's 12-8. Will Tischler picks up his 5th kill to tie him with Dane Leclerc for the team lead and the match lead. So this is Pekarski now. Petchel for Janke. Yes, Christian Janke. Give him his 3rd kill. And now the Lopes will take a 5-point 13-8 advantage.
Well, watch out when Christian Janke gets rolling. There is going to be no stopping this Lopes offense, especially if you compare it with the likes of David Kishel, Alex Shmelev, and then, of course, McLean and Trevor Weary.
That one blocked. Ian McLean. Ian McLean, a huge block, and it's 14-8. So now that one will go off of McLean and Janke's hands, and that gets through the block, and it's 14-9. So Loyola Chicago hanging tough as they were down early by as many as I believe 6 or 7. And they are now within 5.
And we're still not in the home stretch here in this set. Still plenty of volleyball to be played in set number 2. The Lopes have to finish strong.
And that one into the net as the Lopes will get it back. And it is now 15-9, and Christian Janke will get ready to serve. So Janke, the serve into the net. So back-to-back service errors for Christian Janke on his last 2 serve attempts, and it's 15-10. So Colin Mahan will be the server back there for Loyola Chicago. Down by 5 here in set number 2. Will Schwob will pass it off. Petchel. Kishel. Yeah. Not going to get a touch. Thought that one might have hit the top of the hands. It sure looked like it did.
Yeah, you wanted that call.
I wanted that. I was ready for that
one.
Call. I've been ready for quite a few here in set number 2. Just haven't quite gotten them yet. But it's 15-11. And Mahan will serve again. Got that little tennis routine going, bouncing the ball. And now Mahan the serve. Right at Udall. Petchel up top. Schwob gets it to fall. And the senior Will Schwob will get another kill. Give him 5. And it is 16-11. Ian McLean to serve. Shmelev back in for the libero, Cole Udall. And the Lopes regain their 5-point advantage.
And you got that call right. Will Schwob now with the team lead with 5 kills.
And give him 6! Will Schwob again! And just like that, Will Schwob will give you 2 kills in a matter of seconds. And now the Ramblers will use their second timeout. Down 17-11. We'll have the rest of set number 2 when we come back right here on GCU TV.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
When my hot water heater failed, she was pregnant, in-laws were coming, a little bit of water, it rocked our world.
I had no idea the amount of damage that water could do.
We called USAA, and they greeted me as they always do. Sergeant Baker, how are you? They were on it. It was unbelievable. Having insurance is something everyone needs, but having USAA, that's a privilege. We're the Bakers, and we're USAA members for life.
USAA. Get your insurance quote today.
And we are back here inside Antelope Gymnasium. Lopes are up 17-11 in set number 1 after dropping the first set 25-11. They're starting to get on a little bit of a roll, and we got ourselves a volleyball match here in Phoenix. Here on night number 2 of this 2-game series between the number 9 Ramblers and the Grand Canyon Lopes, as that one will be sailed out of play, so that one will be an attacking error on the Ramblers. And the lead now grows 18-11. McLean to serve once more. And that one will be sent out of bounds again by LeClaire. So back-to-back attacking errors from the Ramblers give the Lopes an 8-point 19-11 advantage.
Coming in for the Ramblers, number 8, Devin Jocelyn.
So now in for the Ramblers, it will be Devin Jocelyn, number 8. The sophomore from Angola, New York, and the transfer out of Canisius. And that one will be a kill for Loyola Chicago at 19-12. So Katsegas checks back in, and 51, Thomas Kovanik will also check in as Katsegas goes back deep to serve it now, and it's still 19-12 Lopes. Petrol up top and outside. Schwob blocked straight down by LeClaire. So a huge block for the Ramblers and a much needed one at a good point for the Ramblers here in set number 2.
And it was the guys like Mahan and Tischler who were the key factors last night. Dane LeClaire, we didn't see too much of him last night, leading the charge tonight with 6 kills already. And don't sleep on Paul Narup either. Got these guys, LeClaire, Tischler, and Mahan. Narup sneaks his way in there every now and then as well.
Christian Jenke will get another kill, and it's a 7-point 20-13 Lopes lead.
Lopes looking to finish the job here. Like we said before, they were able to start out strong in this half. Loyola Chicago started to creep back a little bit more. They're up by 7 right now. 5 points away from taking this set. Just got to put the nail in the coffin now, Kyle.
Absolutely. Keishel will serve. They'll go right to the middle. Keishel will be able to keep it alive. Petrol outside. Schwob gets it to fall as it rolls off the top of the net, and he's pretty shocked by that one, but he'll take him any way he can get him. So he now has a match high for both teams at 7 kills, and it's 21-13 in favor of GCU. Keishel, big serve. Blocked. Shmalev and Schwob were right there to do it. So the 2 seniors on this squad teaming up for that block, and it's 22-13. Keishel again to serve, right at LeClaire. And now Tischler kept alive by Udall. And now Schwob will send it over, and the Lopes will reset on defense. Now want to go off the hands of Shmalev. And Udall will put it back up for Schwob, who will send it off the block again. And he gets himself his 8th kill, and it is a 10-point Lopes lead. So the Lopes lead by 10, just like the Ramblers did in the last set at a couple points. And now the Lopes 2 points away from tying this match up at 1 set apiece. Outside for Tischler. Huge kill. And Tischler will get on the board. Now he has 6 kills, and it's 23-14. So that ends the Lopes 4-0 scoring run. And this will be Dane LeClaire, the senior from Pittsford, New York. So quite a few kids from New York on this Loyola Chicago team, as Schwob will dig it out and will get it back from Petchel. And Schwob gets his 9th kill in this match. And we still have a long way to go. And it is 24-14, and Schwob gets ready to serve it for the Lopes, and it is set point.
Schwob definitely motivated coming into set number 2 after what some might say an embarrassing set number 1 for the Lopes.
So LeClaire gets that point, and it's 24-15, and I would say it wasn't the best set for the Lopes. So they've definitely bounced back in a huge way and have really given Loyola Chicago a taste of their own medicine. So Tischler is the server. Off the top of the net, right at Janke. And now it'll be back for Janke, blocked and in play. They will give the point to Loyola Chicago, and Coach Matt Worley unhappy with that call, looking for something. Couldn't quite tell what. But Tischler will serve again at 24-16. Right at Schwob, and it's an errant pass over to the scores table over there on that far sideline, and it's a 7-point lead, and now Coach Worley wants a timeout. It's 24-17. We have set point for the Lopes. They're down 1-0 in set number 2 here against the number 9 ranked Loyola Chicago Ramblers. You're watching GCU Men's Volleyball on GCU TV.
Canyon State Credit Union, a local credit union serving the Valley for over 65 years, can assist you in buying your first home, refinancing your current home, or if you're dreaming of a retirement home. Canyon State Credit Union can provide you with a fast and affordable solution that meets your needs. Let Canyon State Credit Union run the numbers on your dream. Visit canyonstatecu.org or call 623-580-6015 for more information. Canyon State Credit Union, committed to you. We do business in accordance with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, MLS number 410376.
I will always be with you, my friend. I will be with you until the end. I will always be there when you fall and help you when you need it most of all.
Welcome back inside Antelope Gymnasium. The Lopes lead at 24-17 here in set number 2. They need 1 point to take this set, and then they will be even, and we will have a whole new volleyball match on our hands as we're in for a thrilling finish here in set number 2, as now the Ramblers have clawed their way from down 10 to just down 7, and they just forced that last Lopes timeout. So Tischler still the server. It'll be right at Udall. Petchel for Kiesel, blocked out of bounds. Kiesel's gonna get credited with the kill. And the Lopes win set number 2, 25-17 after dropping set number 1, 25-11. So a great second set from the Lopes.
Absolutely, you saw the emergence of Will Schwob, 9 kills. His career high is 18. He's halfway there. You saw the return of David Kiesel making his impact right away with 2 kills. Alex Shmelev with 3. Ian McLean, of course, with 3 kills as well. Christian Janke, you knew was going to be up there from the start. The Lopes answering back the only way they knew how after that first set where Loyola Chicago took it by a score of 25-11, just what the doctor ordered of your Coach Worley.
Absolutely, and the Lopes gonna now be in the same spot as Loyola Chicago was at the end of the set number 1. You can't fall asleep, and you gotta keep your momentum going. Loyola Chicago kind of fell off there to start set number 2, and they let the Lopes get too much momentum, and then the Lopes were able to win it. So before we see set number 3, we'll take another quick break, and we'll be right back here on GCU TV.
As a teacher, your calling was always to make a difference and positively impact the future. You live with a deep sense of purpose and strive to inspire generations of change. GCU's online Masters of Education degree program gives you the skills you need to grow and develop your career, while also making sure you have time for yourself and your family. Today, you can learn anywhere and anytime, giving kids a look into the technological advances that pushed you forward. Being strong and compassionate makes you a role model through this formative period in their lives. You're not just inspiring future generations of leaders and innovators to reach for their dreams, you're giving them the tools they need to achieve them.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online. Curiosity fuels you. It helps you understand the world around you. It's your guide through life. So when you're ready for a fulfilling new career, let your curiosity fuel that change. Change is difficult, but Grand Canyon University's online degree programs in technology make it convenient for you to achieve your dream. While businesses are being transformed by artificial intelligence and analytics, GCU teaches you how to plan for innovation and make sense of the world. By applying that knowledge to today's most challenging problems and sharing your insights, you're helping to build a better tomorrow for you, your community, and your family. Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
We are back here inside Antelope Gymnasium on the campus of Grand Canyon University in the heart of Phoenix. We're about ready to start set number 3. I just saw the Lopes take set number 2 after dropping set number 1 to the 9th-ranked Loyola Chicago Ramblers. And the Lopes are looking to complete the weekend sweep of number 9, Loyola Chicago, as they won in 5 sets last night. So Will Schwob had a dominant second set, and we'll see if he can keep that going, as Tanner Petchel will be the server, so it'll be the same starting lineup as they had in set number 2.
And completely different from last night. All 5 sets pretty close up until the very end. 2 very lopsided sets so far. We'll see who's going to take set number 3.
Petchel outside. Janke blocked down. Kept up and alive. What a play from Christian Janke. And that'll be the Lopes point as it goes off the block's hand and out of play. Lopes have a 1-0 lead.
Every set, every night.
So what a play from the Lopes to not let that one hit the ground and then finish the point by getting it blocked and over the net. So Petchel will be the server. Quick touch from Zolg, and we are knotted up at 1 apiece here in set number 3. So Garrett Zolg will be the server for Loyola Chicago. Udall for Petchel. For Keishel, give him a point or a kill and a point, and it's 2-1 Grand Canyon.
So the Lopes coming out firing like they did in set number 2. Set number 1, obviously nothing was really clicking. That team that we saw in set number 1 seems to be gone, Kyle.
That is right, and we hope that it stays gone as Christian Janke will serve with the Lopes up by 1. And that one will go long and out of play as it was a called touch from the Loyola Chicago side's line judge, but no called touch from either of the referees or the Grand Canyon side's line judge. And we will have a conversation about whether or not it was touched, and I don't understand how you can have the opposite side line judge call the touch off of Janke, but they will keep it the same call. Janke will not touch it, and it'll be 3-1 Grand Canyon.
Yeah, so a little miscommunication there. The Lopes coming away with the point. We'll see if they can capitalize right here as Christian Janke set to serve as the Lopes have possession. And again, when you get the Lopes going, when you get the offense going, you also get the Havocs going, which is going to be a huge factor for the Lopes as well.
So Christian Janke will serve it away. It will find the back line and a service ace. And now it'll be overruled. And they call it out of play. I wasn't really watching, but did the line judge call it? He called it in the start, and then I looked away. So did he call it out of bounds after? Or
I believe
were we overruled by the referee?
I believe we had one official who said it stayed in play, the other saying out, and the ultimate decision, obviously, as we see, is Loyola Chicago's ball. Well,
that one goes into the net, so you know what they say. the ball don't lie, and I couldn't quite see it on that last one. So Ian McLean will be the server, up 4-2. And now Janke keeps it alive. Schwob will go outside for Kiesel. Off the top of the block, trying to keep it alive, and they do, but that one will find the floor. So give David Kiesel the kill, and the Lopes lead it here 5-2. McLean's going to be the server once again. So outside for Tischler, out of play. Lopes will get another point, and it's 6-2. So Ian McLean serves it once again as Janke keeps it up for Petchel. Schwob, touch, blocked back down. Kiesel able to keep it alive, and now McLean will send it over the net. That one out of play, but they will say it got touched by Schwob. And Alex Shmolev, what a play, as Janke had an errant pass for Petchel as it was going over top of the net, stuffed back down by Loyola Chicago. But Shmolev was already coming in from the previous attempt to kill it, and he was able to stay in the air long enough to kill it again. So what a play by Alex Shmolev, and it's 7-3 Grand Canyon.
And the name of the game here is to separate yourselves from your opponents as much as possible. And that's what the Lopes are going to do right here. It was very successful for them in set number 2.
So the Lopes keep the first one up, but can't keep the second one, and it's 7-4. Dane Leclerc will be the server. So Leclerc serve into the net. And that'll be their 6th service error of the night, and it is now 8-4, Lopes lead. Schwob's going to serve it for the Lopes. Off the top of the hands of Petchel and Shmolev. And now Petchel for Kiesel, yes! David Kiesel will get another kill, and he has 6 now, and it's 9-4 Lopes, and they jump out to a quick 5-point lead, just like they did in set number 2.
Well, we're seeing the roles being reversed. Last night it was the Lopes who won set number 1. Loyola Chicago coming back in the next 2 sets. Looks like the Lopes are catching fire here in set number 3. Maybe we'll see a 2-1 lead for the Lopes after 3 sets tonight.
Will Tischler to serve.
So now Will Tischler will be the server. And it will be out of play. 10-5, Grand Canyon lead. Shmolev heads back to serve as McLean will check into the front row for Cole Udall, the libero. Alex Shmolev serves it away. It will find the line. Service ace, Alex Shmolev. And that one will not be overturned, but we will get a timeout from Loyola Chicago. And it's 11-5 Grand Canyon after the service ace. And we will be right back here on GCU TV.
Feel the thunder in the heart of Phoenix. GCULopes.com.
We needed one more member on our roster. Streets of New York is proud to announce Grand Canyon University to our winning team. We are now the official pizza of GCU. Go Lopes.
So a big service ace from Alex Shmelev before the timeout puts us where we are right now at 11-5. We are knotted up at one set apiece here in set number 3. So winner of this one will take a 2-1 set lead going into set number 4. And Shmelev will serve it once again.
And then again, we saw the Lopes come out strong in set number 2. They put the nail in the coffin as well, looking to do the same here right now as they got off to a hot start in set number 3.
That one blocked but out of play, so Loyola Chicago will get that point, and it's 11-6 as Kyle Pekarski heads back to serve it for the Ramblers. Pekarski's serve goes to Schwob. Petchel will set Kashiel in the back row, and it's a laser! And David Keishel will get another kill, give him 7. 12-6 Grand Canyon lead.
Now we talk about guys like Janke, if they get going, they'll be unstoppable. Guys like Shmelev, but if you get David Keishel going, and we've seen him have some career-high games this season, Loyola Chicago is going to be in for a treat.
Good dig from Schwob as Udall will have to just send it over. And now they will set Tischler as Schwob keeps it alive again. Keishel able to send it back to his side in a whistle, and they will say that one is out of play, and it'll be a point for Loyola Chicago. So Garrett Zog will serve. His team is down by 5. It is 12-7. Zog serve out of play, and it's 13-7 Grand Canyon now. Janke will serve once more. Janke serve, a good one, and now Loyola Chicago starts their attack. Tischler right into the net, and the Lopes take a 7-point advantage. Janke again. Outside, Keishel will get a block. David Keishel, and it's 15-7 Grand Canyon, and that will force another Ramblers timeout. So David Keishel is going to get a big solo block, and we stand 15-7 Lopes lead here in set number 3. You're watching Grand Canyon men's volleyball on GCU TV.
Feel the thunder in the heart of Phoenix. GCULopes.com.
Across the Pedic Desert to where the mountains touch the sky. This is Sanderson Ford country, where Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford country, built on serving you. Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford.
And the Lopes lead it 15-7 here in set number 3 here on this Saturday evening in Phoenix, Arizona. Christian Janke gets ready to serve it once again. Lopes looking to take a 2-1 advantage in favor of sets here in this best of 5.
Again, when this offense is rolling, as well as key guys like David Kieshel, Will Schwob, Christian Janke, this team's unstoppable, as well as when you get the Havocs going, Kyle. This place is pretty tough to play, especially if you're Loyola Chicago.
Absolutely, and they learned that last night late as they lost that one in 5, and they'll say that last point hit the floor, and it is now 15-8 as Colin Mahan heads back to be the server for the Ramblers. Udall, Petchel, Janke off the top of the net. No touch, and that one will be a 4-hit. So favor point goes to Loyola Chicago, 15-9.
And again, this could potentially be the most important set in this entire match between these two teams. Lopes with a 15-9 lead at the moment, but don't sleep on Loyola Chicago. Like we said, still plenty of volleyball left to be played here in set number 3.
Janke for Schwob, no touch, out of play, 15-10 now. And you always want to have at least a set advantage to give you some cushion. But when you're knotted up at 1 apiece, there's not a whole lot of wiggle room, as you got to win that all-important 3rd set to give yourself a little bit of a lead in momentum. So Lopes lead down to 5. There's as many as 8. And now Kieshel will get another kill off the block. And he now has 8 as the Lopes take a 6-point lead. Ian McLean will come in and be the server. As Shmelev is now in the front row for Cole Udall.
And David Kieshel starting to find his footing here in set number 3. He had those 2 sets in the 2nd set, but really starting to get things going right here, right now.
Huge kill from Paul Narup. That's just his 3rd. So Kyler Katsakis, number 12, will come back into the game, and he will be the server. Katsakis to serve right at Janke. It's over top of the net. Petchel able to block it. And now a big block, Kieshel and Shmelev, but it goes out of play. Katsakis will serve with a 4-point deficit to make up for Loyola Chicago as we near the end of set number 3. Outside Schwob, not gonna get it, blocked down, and it is a 3-point Grand Canyon lead.
Yeah, Will Schwob trying to take it home with that kill right there. Gets completely rejected by Kyle Pekarski. And again, this set far from over between these two clubs.
Katsakis' serve. Right at Janke. Petchel. Kieshel. Yes! David Kieshel gets another one, and he's got 9, and it's 17-13. As Paul Narup will now come out for the libero, number 11, Avery Aylesworth. And David Kieshel, who just got the kill, will be the server for the Lopes. Kieshel's serve goes right into the net, and it's now a 17-14 Lopes lead in set number 3. Dane LeClaire will be Loyola Chicago's server. Janke for Petchel. Outside, Schwob, not gonna fall, kept up by Tischler. And now LeClaire is blocked. Alex Shmelev Huge block for the Lopes, and it's 18-14 as Will Schwob will go back to serve for the Lopes.
Seems as if Alex Shmilev only comes out at certain times during this game. The second you forget about him, there he is, taking it home like he did just there for the Lopes.
Touch from LeClaire. Udall digs it out. It'll be Kiesel in the back row. That one got touched. Yes, it did. 19-14. Kiesel gets his 10th kill, and it's 19-14. Blocked again, Shmilev and Petchel right there, closing the door on Loyola Chicago, and it's 20-14. Schwob will get set to serve it once again. Schwob serve right at Tischler. Zolg will set it up, and it's blocked. Christian Janke, Alex Shmilev right there. And that is now 3 straight blocks that Alex Shmilev has been involved on. And it's 21-14 in favor of the Lopes. So give Shmilev 7 blocks on the night. Be outside Dane LeClaire. And miscommunication from Kiesel and Schwob, and that'll be a side out and a point to Loyola Chicago, and it's 21-15.
And all you could do there is regroup. You're up by 6. Just got to regroup and finish strong like they did in set number 2, and they will be fine. It's like it'll never happen.
Tischler serves right at Janke. Kashiel gonna get the kill. He's got 11 now. And it's 22-15 in favor of the Lopes.
Well, that happened quickly, didn't it, Kyle? It seemed like just a matter of moments ago, David Kiesel had only 2 kills, and this one has completely been unstoppable for the Lopes here in set number 3.
Janke, Petchel, McLean. Huge kill, 23-15, and Shmilev will get ready to serve once again. 2 points away from a 2-1 set lead over Loyola Chicago.
Well, David Kiesel is back in full force, but don't forget about Ian McLean. Even a guy like Trevor Weir, who only has 1 kill thus far tonight. Watch out for those guys to play a huge factor towards the end of this game.
So Alex Shmilev gets set to serve. That is Tischler finding the line, and it's 23-16. So Shmilev has 7 blocks on the night. That is tied for his career high. He's done it 2 other times, so mark this his 3rd time hitting 7 blocks. And he's got a chance to really blow that out of the water. So we are only in set number 3.
Not just break it, but completely blow it out of the water like you said.
Tanner Petchel, a little tricky play to find the line. And the Lopes are at set point, 24-16. Here over the 9th-ranked Ramblers from Loyola Chicago. Ooh, and a little tricky touch from Devin Jocelyn to make it 24-17. And if the Lopes can score here, they will make that back-to-back set wins. At both of those would have been 25-17. So this is Zoll getting ready to serve it at set point. And Ian McLean will end it. 25-17, Grand Canyon wins back-to-back sets and now has a 2-1 set advantage going into set number 4. And I think the Lopes are just really clicking on all cylinders right now.
The Lopes and David Kiesel leading the charge with 11 kills, now 9 kills alone in that set. Don't sleep on guys like Ian McLean, though. Will Schwob also with 9 kills. I mean, you're right. The Lopes did not come out in the first set. 25-11 lost to Loyola Chicago. Have completely made fans forget about that first set the way they've played in the last two sets. 25-17 in each of the last two sets as they look to close it out in number 4 and look for their second consecutive victory against the number 9 ranked team in the nation.
And they will look to close it out in 4 sets here tonight. We'll have set number 4 and possibly the final set for you when we come back right here on GCU TV.
Performance is your profession. You excel in bringing the best out of people. Through leadership and insight, you help others fulfill their promise. You share a unique bond with your family and cherish your time together. But you strive to take the next step in your career. GCU's online degree program in performance psychology will enhance your skills in helping others succeed. Master your craft in an online PhD program that puts innovation and technology at the heart of education. And you can do it all within a tight schedule without disrupting other aspects of your life. With a PhD in performance psychology, you'll have the tools you need to elevate your performance to the next level. When human excellence meets cutting-edge technology, business advances.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
As a teacher, your calling was always to make a difference and positively impact the future. You live with a deep sense of purpose and strive to inspire generations of change. GCU's online Masters of Education degree program gives you the skills you need to grow and develop your career, while also making sure you have time for yourself and your family. Today, you can learn anywhere and anytime, giving kids a look into the technological advances that pushed you forward. Being strong and compassionate makes you a role model through this formative period in their lives. You're not just inspiring future generations of leaders and innovators to reach for their dreams. You're giving them the tools they need to achieve them.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
We are back inside Antelope Gymnasium for the beginning of set number 4. The Lopes have taken the last two, both at 25-17 after dropping set number 1, 25-11. So the Lopes, rolling in the last two sets, have really found their groove. And all time against Loyola Chicago, these two are familiar foes. They used to play in the same conference that Loyola Chicago plays in, the MIVA. And then the Lopes made the move last season to the MPSF. And all time, these teams are now 13-14 thanks to the Grand Canyon win last night. So the Lopes looking to make it 4-14 overall against Loyola Chicago, as Kyle Pekarski will start us off here in set number 4 after a huge set really fueled by David Kieshel.
Well, the Lopes are hungry, but make no mistake about it, Kyle, they are not finished. They still have some unfinished business here in set number 4.
Christian Jenke get us started, 1-0 Grand Canyon. And that is just Jenke's 6th kill of the night.
It's been a team effort here from the Lopes. Teamwork makes the dream work, of course.
That's what
David
they say.
Kieshel, 11 kills, but also Schwob, Jenke, McLean, Shmalev, and even Trevor Weary all getting in on the fun here tonight.
And just like that, we are tied at 1 apiece as Zolg will head back to serve as Paul Narup will get that last kill. And we start off set number 4 the same way we started off set number 3, tied at 1-1. Zolg serve, Udall digs it out. Petchel outside. Kieshel, give him the kill. David Kieshel's got 12. And David Kieshel having himself his own welcome back party. He missed last night's game, so the Lopes love to have him back, and I'm sure he's happy to be back. And he's having himself a great night, 12 kills on 15 swings.
Yeah, how could you not have fun out there after missing last night's historic win against Loyola Chicago? Comes back tonight, leading the charge with 12 kills. Couldn't be a happier guy on that court than David Keishel right about now.
Into the net, Colin Mahan, 3-1 Grand Canyon. And now the Lopes really starting to feel it, starting off the last 3 sets the same way. I don't know what it is about ranked opponents, especially coming into Antelope Gymnasium. The Lopes always seem to play really well against the ranked opponents, not always coming out on top, but they do play well, and now that's a 3-2 lead as Tischler will get another kill. So give Tischler his 10th, and it's 3-2. Colin Mahan will go back deep to serve. And up top, sent down by Narup. 3-3 now. And you really got to watch those passes as they get closer and closer to the net, because those big middles on either side are just going to come up and throw it right back down to the floor.
Yeah, I'm really glad we're sitting over here at the broadcast table, Kyle, and we're not out there on the court playing these games. Guys like Alex Shmelev will absolutely instill fear into you if you're an opponent.
Absolutely, and Colin Mahan felt that one a little bit there, down into the net, and it's 4-3 Grand Canyon as Ian McLean gets set to serve. That one tipped right into the net, out of play, and Dane Leclerc can't put it over, and good defensive presence by Shmelev and Schwob. McLean serving again. Zolg up top for Tischler, off the block of Shmelev and Keishel, and it's out of play. 5-4 Grand Canyon.
Well, after an impressive performance last night, Colin Mahan has been pretty much unexistent in this one. Just 4 kills. If he can get going alongside Leclerc and Tischler, watch out, Loyola Chicago could be on a comeback trail here.
Udall, Petchel outside, Schwo blocked down, kept alive. They got to send it over, and Udall will. And now off of Udall's fingertips and out of play, and we are knotted up at 5 apiece. And you know Loyola Chicago is really itching to get this set won in for set number 5.
Well, it's a do or die right now for the Ramblers. They lose this set, they go home with 2 losses to the Lopes.
Petro Shmelev, big swing, and it's right down to the floor, 6-5.
And as we mentioned before, Alex Shmelev, when he needs to, can turn it up a notch, taking it home, hold no prisoners right there.
So a great attack by Alex Shmelev. David Keishel will be the server. And now another kill for Kyle Pekarski. So Pekarski picks up his 3rd, and we are tied at 6 as Dane Leclerc heads back to serve it. Leclerc hits it right at Schwob, and now Petchel will set outside. Keishel from the back row, blocked back to the GCU side. And now Petchel for Shmelev. It'll fall. Alex Shmelev picks up another kill, 7-6. Give Alex Shmelev his 5th kill on the night to go along with his 7 huge blocks, and the Lopes take a 1-point advantage as Will Schwob will be the server for the Lopes.
You saw a little grin on the face of Alex Shmelev. He's starting to get going in this one at the right time for the Lopes if you're Coach Worley.
And Zolg will pick up another kill as Keisha was there, just couldn't quite dig it out. So Garrett Zolg's got his 3rd kill to go along with his 30 assists. And this will be Will Tischler. Schwab up top. Gonna dig it back out. Shmelev will tip it back over, and now Loyola Chicago starts it up. Schwab will get a dig, and it goes right back to Loyola Chicago off the hands of Shmelev, and now to play, and Loyola Chicago picks up their first lead of set number 4. It is now 8-7 Ramblers.
So for the first time tonight here in set number 4, we're seeing a lot of back and forth action. Loyola Chicago takes the lead, the Lopes take the lead. Loyola Chicago takes the lead, the Lopes take the lead. More of what we saw last night. It's been lopsided in the first 3 sets tonight. It's going to be an interesting set number 4 to see who's going to take this crown here tonight.
And that serve will go out of play, and the Lopes get it back. It is 8-8. So Shmelev will be the server. We are knotted up here in set number 4, tied at 8. Lopes have a 2-1 set advantage, looking to close it out in set number 4. Shmelev's serve will rebound off the top of the net and back to the Lopes side. Loyola Chicago regains the lead, 9-8. Keishel will get it off the top of the block, and we are tied at 9 as Tanner Petchel heads back to serve it now for the Lopes. That one will be blocked back down and kept alive by Loyola Chicago. Touched over top. Petchel digs it out. Udall will bump it outside for Janke off the hands of the Loyola Chicago defenders. And Janke picks up another kill. It's 10-9.
Yeah, that was Avery Ellsworth with the touch there. Probably not in his best interest to lay a finger on that one, as that's going to result in another Grand Canyon point and a Grand Canyon lead. It's 10-9.
Petchel to serve once again. It's a good one, almost an ace, and now Udall digs it out. Petchel will call him off, and Janke will go with the punch over top of the net. Zolg sets it, but it is hit out of bounds by Narup, and the Lopes pick up an 11-9 lead as Petchel gets ready to serve it again for Grand Canyon.
And as we head into the middle part of this set, the Lopes are now going to have to look to see if they can separate themselves, go on a bit of a rally here against the Ramblers. So they want to take this in set number 4.
So Petchel serves it long. It's a 1-point lead now for the Lopes. And, of course, the Lopes in the midst of this homestand. Next week, they'll be back against number 11 USC, followed by a 2-game weekend set with number 14 George Mason. So in the Lopes' 8 remaining games, 6 of those are against ranked opponents. And they have 2 non-conference games remaining as it is sent over by McLean. And now up top, blocked by McLean and Janke, but it'll go out of bounds. And we are tied at 11. Zolg the server right at Udall. Petchel for Janke off the top of the block, and Christian Janke picks up another kill, give him 8, and the Lopes will get a 1-point lead right back. Zolg will get it up top for LeClaire. Out of bounds, no touch, and the Lopes will get a 2-point advantage. Janke gets ready to serve once more.
So here's a golden opportunity for the Lopes to separate themselves. Up by 2 now. It's been back and forth. Loyola Chicago to Grand Canyon to Loyola Chicago. Perfect opportunity here for the Lopes, but it's not going to happen, Kyle.
Janke serves that one right into the net, and it is a 1-point lead now as Colin Mahan will get ready to serve it again. Mahan to serve. right at Udall. Petchel for Keishel. Sailed that one, and that'll be a attacking error on David Keishel. No touch from the top of the block, as that's probably where he was aiming, trying to get that little tip. Won't get it there. Keishel leads all players with 13 kills, followed by Will Tischler of Loyola Chicago with 11. And Dane LeClaire has 10, and the second for the Lopes is Will Schwob, still with 9. Off of Schwob into the crowd, not going to be able to keep it alive, and it is another 1-point Loyola Chicago lead, 14-13. Colin Mahan still the server for Loyola Chicago, off the top of the net, and it'll be a service ace for Colin Mahan. So Colin Mahan picks up his second service aid and is 15-13. And we will have a timeout on the floor at 15-13 Loyola Chicago here in set number 4. The Lopes have a 2-1 set advantage, and we'll be right back with the remainder of set number 4 when we come back right here on GCU TV.
Thunder in the heart of Phoenix. GCULopes.com.
There's an exciting destination for food, fun, and golf in the heart of Phoenix. Come to the GCU Hotel and Canyon 49 Grill, where our hospitality management students gain real-world experience and deliver unmatched service. Enjoy beautiful amenities like a resort-style pool, full-service fitness center, championship golf course, and coffee shop GCBC. Canyon 49 Grill serves American fare all day and happy hour with a great vibe and Lopes pride. Room rates start at $89 per night. Visit GCUHotel.com today.
We are back inside the Antelope Gymnasium as the Loyola Chicago Ramblers have just taken a 2-point advantage over the Lopes here in set number 4. Loyola Chicago looking to force a set number 5. Neither team has been able to pull away just yet, and Colin Mahan will get us going on the restart. Colin Mahan's serve is long and out of play. Lopes get it back, 15-14 Loyola Chicago. So the serve from Ian McLean will get put back over by Loyola Chicago, and Shmelev will send a free ball right over, right back. And now Schwob and Shmelev are there, but it's kept up. And now the triple block, it's floated over, kept alive by Petchel, and Keishel punched over by Shmelev. And we are going again as Janke digs it out. Petchel outside, Schwob off the block, Petchel again. Keishel, McLean will set it over. Zolk for the back row, and McLean can't keep it alive, but nonetheless a phenomenal rally from the Lopes.
Yeah, it's as entertaining as it gets right there, Kyle. Loyola Chicago inches away from taking that set moments ago. They finish it off there with Dane LeClaire. 16-14 lead again. We're going back and forth. Loyola Chicago has a chance to pull ahead here.
So a substitution coming in for Paul Narup. It'll be Tyler Katsakis for the Ramblers. So Katsakis will be the server with his team up by 2. Janke will get it off for Keishel now. No touch. Out of play again, 17-14. Loyola Chicago, timeout by the Lopes, and head coach Matt Worley wants to talk about it. So his team down by 3 as we get later and later into set number 4. Lopes look to come back and take it home here in set number 4. They're up 2-1, and we'll be right back here on GCU TV.
Canyon State Credit Union, a local credit union serving the Valley for over 65 years, can assist you in buying your first home, refinancing your current home, or if you're dreaming of a retirement home. Canyon State Credit Union can provide you with a fast and affordable solution that meets your needs. Let Canyon State Credit Union run the numbers on your dream. Visit canyonstatecu.org or call 623-580-6015 for more information. Canyon State Credit Union, committed to you. We do business in accordance with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, MLS number 410376.
Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable, and nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu.
We are back inside Antelope Gymnasium as Loyola Chicago has a 3-point 17-14 lead here in set number 4 over the Lopes. And this is still Katsakis to serve. Jenke for Petchel, outside, Schwab gonna get blocked down. And the Ramblers take a 4-point advantage, and Loyola Chicago starting to pull away, starting to feel it late here in set number 4.
Well, this is the time of the set where you want to pull away from your opponents. We're entering crunch time here. It's the first to 25, 4-point lead here, 18-14 in possession. Look for guys like Will Tischler to start stepping up right here, right now.
Katsakis to serve, over the net. Shmalev, but it's kept up by Mahan, and now Tischler will put it back over the net as this will be Keishel. Yes, David Keishel will get another kill. 18-15. Give him kill number 14 on the night.
Again, the Lopes, like I mentioned earlier, trying to put the nail in the coffin now. They don't want to have to face off with these Ramblers in a set number 5. We saw it last night, coming on top. Loyola Chicago in a different position here, down 2-1. They don't want to have to come from behind 2-2 and force a game or force a set number 5.
And they will call that one in, saying it clipped the back corner. 19-15. That one was very, very close. As Dane LeClaire will get ready to serve it for the Ramblers with his team up by 4. Schwab now going to be popped up. Udall will have to play it. And now up top, Shmalev. Not going to get a touch. Petrel saying you could hear it.
Yeah, you could see the look of disdain on Alex's face there. He thought he had that one.
So Alex Shmalev trying to get the Lopes back on the board and could not. The referees will call that one out of play, and LeClaire gets ready to serve with his team up by 5. Petrel again for Shmalev, blocked straight down by Kyle Pekarski. And it is a 6-point Loyola Chicago lead, 21-15. And the Lopes will use their last time out of set number 4 to come back and talk about it. And we'll be right back as well. Take a quick break right here on GCU TV.
Force's heroism, courage, and bravery give greater meaning to what it is to be an American. Grand Canyon University honors you and pays tribute to you and your family. As a community, GCU celebrates your service, your sacrifice, and your commitment. God bless all the brave men and women who put our country first. We want to do the same for you. GCU puts you first with its flexible and convenient online degree programs. We salute you and thank you for your service.
Back inside Antelope Gymnasium with the Ramblers up by 6 here in set number 4. Ramblers need 4 more points to close it out and force an all-decisive 5th set for the second straight night.
Yeah, this set was back and forth from the get-go. Loyola Chicago starting to pull away up by 6 here. Lope still very much in this thing, though. After that first set, seemed as if a beast was awoken inside the Lopes. So don't count them out just yet here in set number 4.
So Leclerc, now Petchel for Shmelev, be touched back and a little ping pong at the net. Petchel sends it back over, so does Shmelev, and now Udall will reset it with Kishel. And a good dig from Colin Mahan as they'll go back for Tischler, gonna get a touch. Kishel keeps it alive, and now Schwob will have to send one back over the net. Zolg, a quick touch out of play. No. They call that one a net violation on Alex Shmelev. He's laughing at the referee, didn't think he was in the net. Referee says differently, and it's 22-15 for the Ramblers as that ball was definitely out of play. But unfortunately, Shmelev in the net. Gonna give it right back to Leclerc for the serve in the Ramblers now, and that one right back into the net. 22-16, 6-point lead. Schwob will be the server for the Lopes, who are down by 6 here in set number 4, looking to come back and close it out. That one out of bounds, no touch. 17-22 in favor of Loyola Chicago.
Well, I mentioned it before, the Lopes not done yet, slowly creeping back into this one, down by 5. We'll see if they can go on a late rally here as Will Schwob sends it over.
Outside for Tischler. Tischler will get a kill, his 12th, and that will be first on the Ramblers side and second in overall players as Kishel leads all players for the Lopes with 14. And now 2 points away from a decisive 5th set. It's 23-17. Loyola Chicago, Will Tischler will be the server. Right at Schwob, Petchel, Shmelev. Quick little touch over the net. And now they will go for Mahan as that one's blocked up. And now they'll go right outside. Janky pop back over the net. Udall for Petchel. Shmelev kept alive again. And now getting up and keeping it alive. So Shmelev will go outside. Janky now. And a beautiful rally happening right now. That one out of bounds. Lopes are going to get the point. 23-18. And the Lopes are able to win that rally. And it was a good one. So all the hustle plays right now in favor of the Lopes.
We've seen a lot of great volleys here so far tonight. 2 very well matched up teams. And again, just 2 points here for Loyola Chicago before we go the distance here tonight for the second night in a row.
So Trevor Weary checks in for Shmelev. He will serve. Weary hasn't seen action since set number 1. He did start the match for the Lopes, however. And of course, last night, Loyola Chicago had the 2-1 advantage, and the Lopes forced set number 5, ultimately won that game, and now we are at set point. Loyola Chicago up 24-18, and a substitution coming in for Kyle Pekarski. It will be number 2, Jake Freeman, the junior from Dana Point, California, and he will serve it now at set point, looking to force that all-decisive set number 5. Big kill, Ian McLean. The Lopes staying alive. They're not going to go away without a fight. 24-19 now as Tanner Petchel will go back to serve. McLean picks up his 6th kill on the night. Up top, kept alive Schwob. Udall will run it down and pass it all the way across for Kiesel, who will just send a free ball over the net. And now a touch. Udall keeps it alive again. Kiesel kind of misread that one just a little bit. And so 25-19, the final score at set number 4. We're tied at 2. Winner will take all in set number 5. We'll have a coin toss to see who gets to serve first in set number 5. And a good set from Loyola Chicago, and they bounce back.
Well, this is the most exciting thing you have in this sport, set number 5. We are going the distance tonight, folks. It's going to be exciting. 2 nights in a row. We saw Loyola Chicago come out with a bang in set number 1, 25-11. The Lopes just did not click at all in set number 1, both offensively and defensively. The Lopes looked like an entirely different team in sets number 2 and 3, almost as if a beast was awoken inside them, like I mentioned before. David Kiesel coming out of the gate strong, came into this game in set number 2, did not start tonight, had those 2 kills in set number 2, coming alive with 9 kills in set number 3, and then of course Loyola Chicago coming out after a great back and forth volley between both teams. In set number 4, Loyola Chicago able to separate themselves from the Lopes late with a 24-19 lead, and here we are, set number 5. Doesn't get any better than this, Kyle.
So set number 5, the 2 words you love to hear in volleyball, it's like game 7 in professional sports.
That's a great analogy.
So winner will take all. Number 9, Loyola Chicago looking to avoid back-to-back losses. And Loyola Chicago has only lost back-to-back games 1 time. Well, actually, they're on a 2-game losing streak right now, as earlier this month they lost to number 10, Lewis. So they're going to look to avoid a 3-game losing streak, but a 2-game losing streak here in Phoenix. And the Lopes are coming out. They're ready for set number 5. Loyola Chicago still talking about it. They got about another minute to go before we start play. And, you know, Will Schwob last night really came out in set number 5 and was that spark for the Lopes. And Will Schwob got a couple kills in a row, a couple blocks, a couple huge digs, and then the Lopes never looked back.
No, they did not, Kyle. It's going to be interesting here in set number 5. Lopes looking for their 2nd consecutive victory against the number 9th ranked team in the nation. Loyola Chicago much more to lose in this one than the Lopes.
Absolutely. Lopes playing with nothing to lose. Loyola Chicago playing with everything to lose, looking to avoid 3rd straight loss as they are 13-5 on the year. So both teams will get back to conference play in their next one after this. So a little friendly mid-season non-conference matchup. And we are 2 seconds away now. Buzzer sounds. We're ready to go. Set number 5. First 1 to 15. Gotta win by 2. Anything can happen in set number 5. Lopes will serve first. It'll be Tanner Petchel. So our referee gives us the signal, and Tanner Petchel will be the server to start us off. And quickly, first point out of bounds to the Lopes. Tanner Petchel will put the Lopes up by 1, and it's 1-0.
And you think the Havocs are ready, Kyle?
Absolutely, they're feeling it. Petchel to serve again into the net. We're tied at 1. Garrett Zolk will be the server as we are tied at 1 here in set number 5. Zolk right at Janke. Petchel, McLean, yes, finds the line. Ian McLean puts the Lopes back up 1. It's 2-1. And Christian Janke will go back to serve it for the Lopes.
Well, Ian McLean headlining things last night, showing up here in set number 5. Remember, last night it was Will Schwob. Will Schwob with 4 rejections in set number 5 alone. Look for him to come out in a big way here right now.
Janke couldn't quite get there to dig it out. It's tied at 2 apiece. 2-2. Colin Mahan for the Ramblers will go back deep to serve. Right at Udall. Petchel. Keishel gonna get dug out Mahan. And now set back up for Tischler, who will go with the tip. Dug out Petchel. Udall for Keishel again. Off the top of the block, right at Mahan once more. A little touch. Keishel keeps it up. Petchel sets it outside. Schwob now has to adjust, and he gets it over. And now a huge block. Ian McLean, Will Schwob are there. And it's 3-2. Lopes getting their lead right back. And now McLean, after that huge block, will go back and serve it for the Lopes.
And you could tell right off the bat here in set number 5, it's going to be back and forth just like set number 4 in this one. No team's going to pull ahead in this one. It's going to be a dogfight here in set number 5.
That block goes out of play, and we are tied at 3. So no team has had a lead greater than 1 as Paul Narup gets ready to serve for Loyola Chicago. Narup served, little floater to Janke. Petchel outside. Keishel gonna get dug out, but that one finds the floor. David Keishel puts the Lopes back up 4-3.
David Keishel to serve.
David Keishel now giving 15 kills on the evening. And he is the server off the top of the net. Almost gets down for a huge ace, but will not as Udall keeps it up. Petchel gonna send it down! Tanner Petchel, big kill, Lopes up by 2, it's 5-3. And that one just sent some electricity through the building.
But there wasn't enough already, Kyle.
There was never enough when it comes to the Havocs. It's not just basketball. They show up for everything. Yeah, but that one goes right into the net, and it's 5-4.
And like I mentioned before, it's going to be a dogfight in set number 5. No team going to give an inch here. Look for Alex Shmelev to come out from hiding here in set number 5. He's going to get way more aggressive than he was in set number 4, if he wasn't enough already. And of course, Will Schwob, David Keishel. Remember, they didn't have David Keishel last night in set number 5.
That one gets out of play. Petchel looking for a touch. He's appealing to all the referees, not going to find one. And Coach Matt Worley wants one as well, and now he wants an explanation, and he'll get one from the referee on the far side. So we are tied at 5 apiece. This is LeClaire. Good dig from Cole Udall. Petchel will set Keishel off the top of the block. David Keishel gets another kill. He's got 16 now. His career high is 28, which he had earlier this season, so it is now 6-5. Good serve from Will Schwob. Blocked down, but out of play as that one just rolled over the top of the net and eventually found its way out of play. And it is now tied at 6 apiece.
Again, mano y mano. Back and forth action like we saw in set number 4. Something's got to give here late in this set.
Will Tischler, the server, out of play. That gives the Ramblers 13 service errors on the match. And the Lopes regain a 7-6 lead. Lopes have yet to trail here in set number 5. As Shmelev back deep now for the serve. Gonna be a service ace. Alex Shmelev puts the Lopes back up by a pair. And it's 8-6. And we're gonna switch sides and get a quick 1.5 minute timeout. Lopes up by 2. Solid start, about the same start they had last night in set number 5. So David Keishel really feeling it here tonight. He's got 16 kills to go along with his 5 digs and 2 blocks, followed by Will Schwob with 9. So the Lopes really getting a balanced attack. Getting a balanced attack so far here tonight.
100%. Like you said last night, similar start to set number 5 that the Lopes had here last night, and they were able to pull away. Loyola Chicago unable to get their feeding in set number 5 last night. This one an entirely different story. Both teams going back and forth. Lopes able to get to 8 before Loyola Chicago, but this set, like we've mentioned all night long, far from over here in Phoenix.
So the refs are going to clear the court really quickly, as we still got about 30 seconds before we got to remain play. And
these two teams are ready to go right away. Out there with about 45 seconds left to go in their timeouts. They're ready to go right here, right now.
Yeah, it looks like a little confusion on whether or not. And now they're going to reset the timeout clock, as not sure why, but it is okay. Both teams will get a little bit extra rest and a little bit more time to talk about strategy, as we are halfway through set number 5 at 8-6 Lopes. And of course, they're going to want to keep the momentum going after that service ace from Alex Shmelev on the previous play. Lopes can't fall asleep here, or Loyola Chicago will pour it on just like they did in set number 1. So Loyola Chicago appears to be taking all the time that they can get. And now they have broken the huddle, and looks like we're almost ready to resume play in set number 5. Lopes really anxious. They just want to get rolling again.
Yeah, a little extra time there for both clubs as they meet with their coaches. We'll see what Coach Worley has in store here. As again, the Lopes looking to put the nail in the coffin here. They're only up by 2. They have to separate themselves, and they have to separate themselves right now against these Ramblers.
Shmelev sails that one to the wall. And it is 8-7 Lopes. So not what you wanted after a big service ace if you're Alex Shmelev.
Yeah, Shmelev putting way too much oomph into that serve. May cost him right here as the Ramblers looking to go on a run.
Katsakis will be your server. Right at Schwob. Petchel outside. Janke, yes! Christian Janke puts them back up by a pair. And it is 9-7. And a substitution as Kyle Pekarski will re-enter this game for the Ramblers.
Yeah, and Janke taking that one home. Dane LeClaire with the putback. He was looking for Avery Ellsworth there to help him out. Does not get the plug. And just like that, the Lopes out in front again, 9-7. Huge opportunity here right now as Tanner Petchel serves it up.
Right at Udall. Set up, Janke blocked down, finds it into the back corner, and it is 9-8. So the Ramblers have 11 blocks to GCU's 10.5, so very narrow margin in blocks. As Zolg will get ready to serve it. Once again, he's got 40 assists on the night, and that one will go right over, and Paul Narup is right there to stuff it home as we are now knotted up at 9. So first one to score 6 points here and lead by 2 will win this match. And could we possibly have back-to-back upsets here in Phoenix? Right into the net is Garrett Zolg. Lopes retake the lead, 10-9.
Yeah, Garrett Zolg not helping out the Ramblers there with that service error. Lopes back in front, but then again, this has been a back and forth seesaw affair here in set number 5 since the get-go, so we'll see how Christian Janke answers here for the Lopes.
Janke serve off the top of the net, kept up. Schwob will send it right back down. Lopes lead by 2, 11-9. Will Schwob picks up his 10th kill on the night, and he's been silent for the last 2 sets after coming alive in set number 2, but what a time to pick it back up.
And the Ramblers weren't doing anything but spectating that last shot from Will Schwob.
They've changed the call. It appears that, I guess they're going to say Will Schwob was in the net when he hit that one, so we're knotted up at 10. So instead of a 2-point lead, we are tied, and now McLean will send it over. Blocked, kept alive. Blocked again, out of bounds, and now Ramblers take a 1.11-10 lead. And I'm not sure that the Lopes are going to be too happy about that one after they had what was a 2-point lead, and now is a 1-point deficit.
Oh, definitely a complete game changer. It's changing the entire complexion of both this game and the Lopes' momentum here in set number 5.
Absolutely. As Mahan serve right at Udall. Petchel outside. Keishel touched by Ian McLean. They're going to say it's good. I believe it did get touched, so McLean stuffs it home. Great job from Ian McLean to be there and find the open space as Weary checks back in. He'll get ready to serve. We're knotted up at 11 now.
Well, if you're not inside the Antelope Gymnasium and don't have goosebumps, there's something wrong with you. Things are cooking up right here in Phoenix.
Trevor Weary. Outside off the top of the block, Janke keeps it alive. Petchel for Keishel. Now it's kept alive by Zolg. And now Tischler blocked by Shmelev. Alex Shmelev is right there. Lopes regain the 12-11 lead. And now Weary gets set to serve it once more. And that block by Alex Shmelev will give the Lopes, or will force the Ramblers to take a timeout. And it is a 12-11 lead for the GCU Lopes. So the Lopes forcing a timeout. They've been able to fight through adversity so far in this 5th set, and there's been a little bit of it for them. But nonetheless, a great job from the Lopes here.
Yeah, and it's coming right down to the wire here. 12-11 lead. The hair's got to be standing up on the back of Coach Worley's neck right now as his team 3 points away from potentially defeating the number 9 ranked team in the nation for the 2nd consecutive night here at home.
And GCU is about to put the NCAA Volleyball Nation on notice right here. If they can find a way to force back-to-back victories over the 9th best team in the land. And the Lopes have already beaten, Loyola Chicago earlier. They beat number 10 Cal State Northridge to start the season. So they got a pair of ranked wins, and they've been in pretty much every other game that they have played in so far this season. So Trevor Weary gets set to serve it with a 1-point lead. That one, Paul Narup will find the back corner and knot this one up at 12 again. Substitution coming, as this will be McLean in for Weary, but Udall will come in as the libero for number 10, Ian McLean. And now Paul Narup is your server. We're knotted up at 12, so this one is definitely going to come down to the last point, and it's a kill. David Kashiel gonna pick up his 17th kill on the night. And now David Keischel will get ready to serve it for the Lopes. David Keischel, his team up by 1. First one to 15 is gonna win it. He puts that one in play. Blocked, Shmelev kept alive. Schwab gets the kill. And the Lopes and the crowd are pumped up. And now we are at match point for the second straight night in set number 5. Looking to take down the 9th best team in the nation. And a timeout for Chicago. And we are going to be right back. We are at match point here on GCU TV.
Feel the thunder in the heart of Phoenix. GCULopes.com.
There's an exciting destination for food, fun, and golf in the heart of Phoenix. Come to the GCU Hotel and Canyon 49 Grill, where our hospitality management students gain real-world experience and deliver unmatched service. Enjoy beautiful amenities like a resort-style pool, full-service fitness center, championship golf course, and coffee shop GCBC. Canyon 49 Grill serves American fare all day and happy hour with a great vibe and Lopes pride. Room rates start at $89 per night. Visit GCUHotel.com today.
Match point here in Antelope Gymnasium, set number 5. It's 14-12. Lopes have the lead. David Keischel to serve. And right there, big serve, David Keischel. That one will be off the top of the block. Jenke keeps it alive. Petrel outside. Keischel not going to fall that time. Set up for number 4 for the Ramblers. Petrel kills it! And the Lopes have done it for the second straight night here in Phoenix. The Lopes have taken down number 9 Loyola Chicago 15-12. They win it in 5 sets. And oh my goodness, the Lopes have had back-to-back amazing games.
Well, go crazy, folks. Bedlam here in Phoenix. 2 consecutive victories at home against the number 9th ranked Loyola Chicago. David Keischel returning in a big way here tonight. 17 kills. Will Schwob with 10 of his own. And of course, Ian McLean showcasing one of his best games of the season yet again with 8 kills. Just an amazing performance this weekend against Loyola Chicago at home here for the Lopes. What a game.
David Keischel, 17 kills on the offensive end to lead the way for both teams. And then a huge defensive effort from Alex Shmelev with 8 blocks. He sets a new career high. And the Lopes take him down again. And that is where we find this one. Tune in on March 14th next week to see the Lopes take on number 11 USC. They'll be right here at Antelope Gymnasium at 6 p.m. You can catch that on GCU TV. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and to follow our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GCU. For everybody here at GCU TV, for Jack O'Hara, I'm Kyle Board, saying have a great rest of your weekend, a great rest of your night, and as always, go Lopes.